Hi guys. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Oscar Grant situation. And I know you guys have talked about it over and over again, but I just wanted to kind of put my 2 cents out there because I was kind of missing in action when the whole story broke. So I just want to put my 2 cents out there. And let me say this before I get into the serious part about the Oscar Grant situation. Y'all, and I am not advocating rioting. I'm not saying you should be rioting. You should not be rioting. But if you're gonna riot, stop tearing up your own shit when you get mad because riots broke out and they were tearing up their own shit. Don't tear up your neighborhood because you know what? At the end of the day, you gonna have to be the one sitting around looking at the raggedy shit. So let's not tear up your neighborhood when you decide to riot. This will be my thing. Again, not advocating rioting or any law-breaking behavior. Y'all need to, and I'm sure Rodeo Drive is not in Oakland, but I'm sure you'll understand what I'm saying with this. Take y'all asses down to Rodeo Drive. Get you some Gucci, some Versace, some Louis Vuitton. Get that shit. Prada, when you get it, send me some, please. Get some shit like that, okay? Break their shit up, okay? Don't tear your shit up where you live at. Why you gonna shit on your floor in your house? You the one got to look at it. Why would you? Anyway, that was just a little rant. Little rant I had to do because I just never understood why people would go and riot and tear up their own shit. We have neighborhoods here in Chicago today that still haven't recovered from riots that happened in the 1960s. They will never recover from the riots that happened in the 1960s. So let's not tear up our own shit from now on. Thank you. Anywho, little public service announcement. Oscar Grant. We all know the story. Very sad story. 22-year-old black man executed. Not by a thug, not by a gangbanger, not by a jealous girlfriend, not by his little cousin Ray Ray. Executed. By who? Someone that swore to serve and protect the public, to serve and protect him. I'm not here to say that all cops are bad cops. That's not what I'm going to say, because I know that they're not. I know that there are a few bad cops out there, but all cops are not bad. I have police officers in my family. They're good black men, and they are good men. But we've always known that there has always been a disconnect between the black community and the police. There's always been a disconnect. Why is that? It's simple. Situations exactly like this. When you read the reports on this case, there is a really big difference from what the cops are saying happened and what the witnesses are saying happened. Back in 1991, and I believe it was 1991, please don't hold my feet to the fire for this, the Rodney King issue broke. We would have never known anything about Rodney King had it not been for what? Technology. Videotape. Funny thing about it is, almost 20 years later, we probably would have not known anything about Oscar Grant if it hadn't been for technology. Young lady using her camera phone, videotaping the internet. His last few horrifying moments of his life and his execution. For what? They say that there was a fight that broke out on the rail car that he was in. Witnesses say he wasn't even involved in it, but the police round him up. He was sitting there, as we all saw on the tape. We all saw him being put down onto the ground. We all saw that. We all saw him shot. He was shot. He was executed. Again, by someone who was supposed to serve and protect him. How can we tell our children, don't fear, don't be afraid, if situations like this are going on? I'm raising a young black boy who will soon be a young black man. And I could not imagine getting a phone call in the middle of the night telling me that someone has gunned down my child, not a thug, not a gangbanger, not a jealous girlfriend, not little cousin Ray Ray, but by, again, someone who was supposed to serve and protect my child. And then I get to see the video. Not of my child fighting, cursing, kicking, spitting, screaming at a police officer, threatening a police officer's life, but a video of my child cooperating and witnesses stating that he was begging not to be tasered. This was not some 22-year-old sawed-off shotgun carrying, drug dealing lowlife. This was a young man who, yes, had some issues in the past, but so have a lot of other black men had some issues in the past, but he was currently turning his life around. He was holding down a job. He had a job at as a butcher at a grocery store. He had a 4-year-old daughter. He had a girlfriend. He had a mother. He had family members that loved him, and he was taken from this life. By whom? Someone that is supposed to serve and protect. It's scary. And I don't know what the answer is, y'all. I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, I know what the answer is and we should. I don't know. But we do have to be able to come together to make sure that this individual pays for his crime. Now, I'm not talking about going and getting him and lynching him, but making sure that justice is served for Oscar Grant. Not letting him walk, because I'm going to tell y'all, if history is any indication as to what may happen in this case, he's going to end up walking, as so many of his fellow colleagues have done before. Let's not allow him to get away with this. Don't allow it, because it could have been your son. It could have been your man. It could have been your cousin. It could have been your best friend. Don't let him get away. And he had the nerve to flee to Las Vegas. And it took them 13 days to get him. Now y'all know doggone well that if there had been another situation, or let's just say the tables and the races were reversed, he wouldn't even been able to flee, because he would have been put in custody that morning. Again, y'all, I don't know the answer. But one thing I do know is that we have to make sure that these type of things don't happen in our community over and over again, where we are losing our men. These are our men. And we cannot afford to continue to lose them at this rate. Especially when they didn't even do anything. So come together, get with your community organizers and community activists, and come together, write your letters, do what you have to do to be able to say that we are not going to take this stuff anymore. And if you gun down another one of our children, there will be action taken against you. You're not going to walk home and say, okay, I can get on with my life now. No. Your ass can get on with your life when you in the jail cell kicking it with them inmates that's ready to get into that ass.